push it, push, keep pushing, push it, push, keep pushing, push it, push, keep pushing. No matter what you're going through, I want to see you push it, push, keep pushing, push it.
Good evening. Your boy Maham the Mentor is here with the second half of the conspiracy to destroy the young black man. Now, this is a video, man, I ran across, man. It's 2024, and this video was made in 1987, man. I want you to watch it, man, and kind of keep up to what he's saying and tell me if he's not on point with today's time, man. This Maham Mentor. Let's go back into the second half of this video. Over and out.
Now, before black men say, that's right, brother, you tell them. Please, brothers, quit assuming that black women took our jobs away. Because black women also do not hire enough iron. We are being played off against each other for some crimes. We recommend the second response. But black women say to them, well, if you ain't working, can you at least go back to school? Can you at least learn a skill? Or at least make dinner or go on a future squad dog? But the problem is there are very few black men that look to black women for the definition of man. Black men, as I said earlier, want to do what white men do. And that means be the breadwinner. What I'm getting at is, we're going to have to redefine what it means to be a man. Because if being a man means being the provider, with 25% of black men out of work, that's a suicidal definition. You see, if I lose my job tomorrow, I'm still a man. As long as I'm responsible, treat my wife correctly, raise my children, that's responsibility. I'm not going to allow my employer to reduce my masculinity. I need to define what being a man is. And I think it's a perfect balance between the mental, the spiritual, and the physical. Not being a breadwinner, but a balance between the mental, physical, and the spiritual. Isn't it interesting? You have two black men. Both lose their jobs. One black man resorts to crime, leaves his home. He's been reduced by the society. The other black man sells newspapers, sells peanuts, does whatever he can to take care of his family. Same economic situation, but a different set of values. You have to work on that. A new definition to resolve this problem. I'm not belittling money. You have to have money living in America, but that's not the criteria for men. Boys make babies. Men take care of them. That's the definition. One more comment here. I mentioned earlier in our past workshop on the peer group. Let me share with you here this dichotomy where you have the mental over here and you have the physical over here. You see, a real problem is our boys have a difficult time finding a balance in the middle. I mentioned earlier homosexuality, and the figure is 1 of every 9 men in this country are homosexuals. It's going to increase. And the reason is because we've been so skilled to the physical, being macho. So when our boys want to be out.
He was calling this in 1987. There was going to be more homosexuals. This ain't no, oh man, they're coming up. No, this was planned. Social engineering. It was already in the making. Keep watching.
Oh, they label sissy. Want to be involved in fine arts? Label sissy. Want to be open, honest, communicative? Label sissy. When you label something long enough, you begin to act that way. So you have a homosexual over here, and you have an athlete for machos over here. Tremendous dichotomy between these two. We have got to find some men that can teach black boys and Hispanic boys the balance between the physical and the mental. There's going to be too much pressure over here. It's hard to find the balance, and women can't teach it. Only a man can do it. We need more black men who can do both of these areas. Physically balanced and mentally balanced. And spiritual and mental. Comments, questions about what is a man? We've been looking at male behavior. Any comments or questions? Yes, Glenn?
Explain what you meant by saying women raise their daughters.
Matter of fact, I think it's probably the next point. Matter of fact, it is. Praise the Lord. Let's go to the next point. See, we were looking at the active conspirators, and we're looking at what the effect that causes on us in terms of male behavior. And we may not be able to control or to change Reagan, Rockefeller, Weinberg, but your question we can change. We can look at some mothers, and I said some, not all. The rumor is that some mothers raise their daughters and love their sons. My boy always loves his mom. 40 years of age, still at home with you. That needs to stop. Your boy is not yours. He's a future husband, a future father, and needs to be raised that way. Now, what I mean by raised, teach your son how to cook, to make up his own baby, to clean up his own bathtub because you raised your daughter. On the honor roll, every mom can do it. Go to church with you every Sunday, and she can cook, sew, and clean. All the you have your son. Ain't never seen an honor roll. He plays basketball all evening long. Never go to church and can't boil a hot dog. The rumor is we have some, not all, raising their daughters and loving their sons. Now, I know the historical reason. The historical reason is our society always try to destroy black men. The lynchings. So black mothers always want to overprotect their sons. What's the reason today? I know the KKK is on the rise. But what's the reason today? Is it because your own black man didn't stay? You now replace your man with your son? Your son is not yours. He's a future husband. A future.
What's the excuse for today's day in 2024?
Father. And needs to be raised that way. Quit telling these 9-year-old boys they're the man of the house. Ain't no 9-year-old boy ready to be no man of the house. But because you told him that, he now begins to wonder. When you then bring over your man for the evening, Mom, I thought I was the man of the house. Why are you bringing him over? You can't have it both ways. If he's going to be the man of the house, quit bringing your boys over on Saturday nights. You know what's sad though? These brothers think what they can do with their mamas, they can do with their teacher, their coach, and everybody else. In other words, living home with you in a $100 pair of gym shoes, $8 pair of Gucci handbag. In other words, these boys have mastered how to manipulate their mamas. And they think what they can do with you, they can do with everybody else. Only to find out what you let them get away with, no one else does. In other words, 90% of all teenage pregnancy programs counsel the women. We have teenage pregnancy running rampant. But as far as the last time I looked, it took two to make a baby. But 90% of programs let the brothers off the hook. The real question is, who is going to teach blind boys to be responsible? And you don't start when he makes a baby. In other words, the real question is, who's going to teach blind boys to be responsible for his personal hygiene, for his clothes, for his chores, for his room, for his siblings, for his allowance, for his studies, for his toys, for his schedule, and then his sex life. You don't start responsibility at 16. It starts very early. For example, when I was growing up, my father ordered a mutual fund account for me. And every year my brother explained to me, this is how much money you have in your account. But if you make a baby, all your money is going to take care of your child. Should it be any different? If I enjoy making it, should I also take care of it? So my oldest son was 15. I told him I've been doing the same thing with him, the 9-year-old and the 15-year-old. So he told me last year, he said, Daddy, this money looks so good to me. I just decided I'm not ever making me a baby. I'm keeping all my money to myself. But the point is, the boy understands responsibility. He understands if I make a baby, you will take care of it. There are mothers who know their son impregnated some girl on the same block, and they say, well, your boys will be boys. They will be whatever you make them. I want to pause now. Explain this. Why are some mothers raising their daughters and loving their sons? Did you grow up in a household where you did more work with your sister than your brothers did? Why is that? And you know what else I believe? I believe the child rearing has a lot to determine in marriage. In other words, marrying a mama's boy is a very critical mistake. Because they can always go back to their moms. Son, the room is just the way it always was. Got your favorite pie cake whenever you want to get it. It is terrible marrying a mama's boy. Comments. My water brother. Give me some feedback on mothers with his son. What do you think about that?
Mm-hmm.
It's devastating. It's on target.
Any other concerns?
How many mama's boys you think are being raised today?
The boys be real bad.
Right.
That's exactly where you keep them at. Boys.
Right.
Where you keep them responsible. They're supposed to be men. We're more apt to be anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of mothers.
You know, the shortage of men in the church, that can be corrected by taking our sons to church. The sons can stay home. It's optional to them, but not the daughters. They're trying to play outside. Daughters in at a certain hour. The son all night long. Double standards. Make the daughter stay, but not the son. See, my point is, if black women come right to you, if black women know what problems they have with their own black men, are they corrected with your son? See, if you know what the problems are with black men, your little son, that's somebody else's husband. All what you know needs to be done, put that into your son. Right, Robert Petro, if you really love your sisters. If you really love your sisters, correct the problem with your son. Yes, sir.
Because the mother loves the child so much and it hurts the mother to whip the child and see the child hurt, so the child will continue to rule.
Well, that's interesting. They love their daughters too, but they whip their daughters.
So he's talking about the majority, and the majority of what he's saying is the majority of women are harder on their daughter than they are their sons. Just to keep it simple, and he's correct. The majority of women do treat their daughters a little bit more harder than they are because they were girls themselves. So they understand what it's like and what it takes to raise a girl, but to raise a man, it's a little bit more difficult, man. We're going to keep watching.
That's my baby. In other words, it's very interesting. See, when the father's there, see, it's something about a black man or a father seeing this male, his same side, sitting on his sofa, eating up all the food. Boy, you got to go. But see, his daughter can stay as long as she wants. But see, the mother knows the daughter. And so the mother, you got to go too. See, mothers make the daughters go, and fathers make the sons go. But when the father's not there, there's nobody to make the son go. Yes, one more, you got to go on. Yes,
I
ma'am.
also think it has something to do with the norms that are set in the system, too. And he tried to emulate those as like equal. I think, for example, I was brought up on a farm and everybody worked together. But then in society now says the male has a role, the girl has a role. So the parents try to perpetuate that.
Correct. And what's sad about that is you can't fault the black man who you married not wanting to wash dishes. He wasn't forced to wash dishes at home. So you can't fault him when he marries you. Have to teach him early. Next issue, female teachers. We're also very concerned about female teachers. Remember, the exact percentage is 83% in the elementary grades. The number of black children in public schools, 17%. The black children are 41% of all the special ed children. Now 17 doesn't equal 41. LD, learning disabled, EMR, extra mentally retarded, BD, behavior disorder. It gets worse. If a black child is going to be labeled special ed, 85% of the time it's going to be a black woman. Why is it not 50-50 black boy, black girl? Well, the reason may not be with just black children being more than Patrick Monahan. It may be up here at the top. It may be that female teachers may not know that boys are different than girls. You already know that, don't you? That boys are different than girls. I only want the women to answer. The men know they're different. I want to now hear the women to share with us what are some of the differences between boys and girls in the class. Because only when you know what the differences are can you then change your methodology to meet the needs of their learning style. Yes. Okay, so boys are more active. What else? More physical. Okay, more aggressive. What else? Come on now, you don't have the boys explain what they do. Go ahead.
I think the boys are more egotistical.
Okay, so large ego.
Large ego.
Okay, got a good group. Any others?
They're not quite as willing to please either as little girls.
Okay, so let's cooperative. And we just want to ask you more because of time. 3 and 4, do you find the boys more aggressive, more athletically inclined, have a shorter attention span, a slower maturation rate? As you said, less cooperative, are larger than the girls, influence more of their peer group, more advanced gross motor and fine motor, not as neat as girls, are louder than girls, like wearing hats on their heads, have a different walk, have a larger ego, and last but not least, play the dozens more than girls. You know how many teachers, especially white teachers, white female teachers, don't know what the dozens are, don't know what signifying is? Now remember, we live in a world controlled by men. Males want to find out who's the best, or as they say, who's the best. Now remember, in school, the rule is you can't fight, but they still want to find out who's the best. They create a new game called dozens, signifying. It is a verbal word game of the most prized person in the black community. Now, who's the most prized person in the black community? Your mama. We're going to talk about your mama right now. I saw your mama on the railroad track, looked at her and said, ooh, get back. It's a verbal word game. Now, the game is designed as a verbal word game of the most prized person, your mama. Now, if you break down and start fighting, you get kicked out of school, so I automatically win. If you break down and start crying, again, I automatically win. Now, before I go on, do you know how many black boys are suspended or placed in special ed because they were playing the dozens? Do you know how many teachers don't understand those same 2 black boys who were playing the dozens, really getting down to his mamas, were the best of friends 2 seconds late? They didn't understand the culture. Now, don't misquote. I'm not condoning the dozens nor black English, but they both exist. And if you want to move a child from one to the other, it may not be what you say. It may be how you say it. In other words, black English, first day of school, 5-year-old girl walks into your classroom, speaking what she heard, black English. When you condemn the language, you've done more than condemn the language. You're now destroying a child's self-esteem. The language is legitimate, has different rules to it. It exists, legitimate rules to it. And if you want to move a child from black English to standardized English, you don't condemn. You make him feel good where he is. If you let him out, there's some skill to playing the dozens. I'm a former teacher, and I asked him, where the dozen plays? There's some skills to playing the dozens. First of all, you have to have an expanding vocabulary. You have to have the ability to make words rhyme. You have to have quick thinking skills. You have to be comfortable public speaking. And I knew that. So I used to tell Willie, my best student, Willie, if you are that good playing the dozens, making words rhyme, vocabulary all the life, I want you to be the MC of all my programs. I want you in my drama department or my spelling bee team. In other words, I stroked him. I made him feel good playing well. And then he was willing to give me those skills in my classroom. But the real issue is, do we let these boys know we respect their culture? Because if you condemn it, they will fight you every step of the way. And you know what else they will do? They will also fight you what we call the showdown. The showdown between black boys and female teachers. You see, black boys don't know when they're men. And black men have not made it clear to them when they become men. So they think taking a female teacher one-on-one is going to make them a man, especially around 4th grade. From 4th grade on, they want to find out who's in charge of the class. It's called a showdown. There are numerous options in showdown between a black male and a white and a female teacher. Showdown number 1. She says, sit down. Very unassertive. Well, Willie may sit down, but it may be late on in the afternoon. Willie wins showdown number 1. Showdown number 2. She responds to Willie some of the time, but not all the time. She's inconsistent. Well, I believe Willie wins each one of those. She does not respond to. Showdown number 3. She says, I'm going to suspend you or place you in special ed. We may lose to the assistant principal or special ed placement, but he did not do what she said. He wins showdown number 3. Showdown number 4. She says very assertively, sit down now. You're not good ones do it. They look at you. Strong eye contact. They look you back in line. And she wins showdown number 4. Showdown number 5. She responds to Willie each and every time. She's consistent. And she's winning each one of those showdowns. Then the last one, a friend of mine in Chicago told me she had a boy who thought he was so bad. He was not going to stand up. He was going to run the class sitting down. He's going to make her nervous. He's going to look at her and smile. So every time
I was Willie.
Audrey looked at her, he looked back and smiled. But then Audrey looked back with the same strength and smiled. This went on all day long. Willie looked and smiled. Audrey looked back and smiled. At the end of class, so many words, Willie came to Audrey and said, okay, I understand that you are in charge of this class. But the reason is she's done 3 things right. She first of all loves him, and he knows it. She respects him, and he knows that. And she also respects his culture, and he knows that. Because of that, there is no showdown, because he knows that she is a child of Christ. What I'm getting at, to return back to, if you know that boys have a shorter attention span, what should that do to your lesson? Make it shorter or make it more interesting? If you understand the boys are more advanced gross motor than fine motor, what should you allow more in your classroom? More hands-on learning activities. In other words, my point is, if you understand that boys have different learning styles, rather than taking them out of your class and putting them in special way, why don't you alter your learning style, your methodology? But you know what I'm saying? Most principals know that 5% of their teachers make over 30% of the referrals. If that's the case, why remove the child? Why don't you remove the teacher? How is the child doing so well in third grade with a good teacher, and now labeled EMR in fourth grade? It may not be the child. It may be the teacher. Truly, shame we can't stay on this longer on learning style. Hyperactivity, that's a value judgment. If you know what hyper is, God must have told you what normal is. Hyper is a value judgment. It may not be that blind boys are hyperactive. It may be the lesson plan was simply too slow. Think about that the next time you want to place a child in special ed. Some other issues. I want to wrap up with regards to what it.
I was in special ed. I graduated college 3 times with honors. They in the back, man. This is real. They'll put you in special ed just because they don't think you know how to do whatever. You're not applying yourself. I was a victim of it. I was told I was whatever, uncringeable. I wasn't that smart. Couldn't read. I sat in there, didn't apply myself, and only to go to prison and then learn how to read and write and then try to entering college, just hoping to get in there and maintain it. I wouldn't have no hopes of graduating, but look at me now.
Is a conspiracy to destroy black boys. I believe the conspiracy is made up of white male supremacy, institutional racism, lack of black male role models, the male socialization process, parental apathy and double standards, low teacher expectations, a female designed classroom, a distorted media, and influential peer group. In terms of the question of what is a conspiracy, I know you can't take all those down the way I gave it to you, so please read the book. I won't repeat them again, but those are the major factors that make up what is a conspiracy to destroy black boys. Male supremacy, institutional racism, lack of male role models, male socialization process, parental apathy, raising their daughters and loving their sons, low teacher expectations, a female designed classroom, a distorted media, and an influential peer group. Now, what I want to begin to look at is, what can the home do to stop the conspiracy to destroy black boys? It's not enough to describe it. Remember, the book is called Counter the Conspiracy to Destroy Black Boys. I want to look at it from the home, from the classroom, from the community, and then we'll give you the Donna Willie theory, or the Donna Kathy theory, and the Eddie Willie theory. In terms of the home, in order to stop this conspiracy, we must first of all become aware. I believe the first way to solve any problem is to know the problem exists, to study. We have got to study more. And then we, especially women, have got to admit that boys need role models, especially male role models. And after we admit that, then we need to identify some male role models that will play that kind of position with our boys. And please don't lie to me and say you don't know them. In other words, on your block, in your extended family, where you work at, please don't say you don't know at least one positive black man. In other words, just because the biological father is not there, does not mean there's not some other black men there. We believe in extended family concept. We also want you to set a contract on what this man will do with his son on an ongoing regular basis. And for the fathers, please quit taking your son only to the ball game and to the zoo. It's amazing. Fathers take their sons to the zoo and to the ball game. When it's time to go to the grocery store or the barber shop, go with your mom. In other words, I believe that black boys are an awful lot by seeing you in very natural situations, at the oil change, at the barber shop, just talking smack on the street. So please quit thinking that you only interact with your children and some child-centered activities. They need to see what you do on an ongoing regular basis. We must also work on black boys' fine motor development. In other words, early on in kindergarten, we're labeling black boys as being behind because the girls work with crayons, pencils, and scissors. The boys have been working with trucks. We have to work on black boys' fine motor development. We also have to work on a non-sexist household. In other words, teach your son how to cook, how to sew, how to clean. We also recommend you teach your son sex education and before 12 years of age. The studies show we're teaching children sex ed after they've already started. It should be before, not after. They've already made a baby after 12 and 13. We have to work on that. We must also monitor the peer group. You know, good parents have always done a number of things with the peer group. First of all, good parents know who their children's friends are. They invite them over to get to know them better. And many times parents program a peer group to make sure their child runs the right group. My parents enrolled me on a track team. I had to run cross country, indoor, and outdoor track. Rather than running around a gang, they had me running around the track. My parents did that intentionally to make sure. Good parents also monitor television. TV cannot be turned on by itself. Quit blaming the television set.
How would he handle social media in 2024?
We must also look at us. And then last but not least, we must listen to our children. Many times they tell me, Our parents don't listen to. That's why the peer group is winning. The peer group listens. Many times we don't. You know, the average father only spends 7 minutes with his children. The average mother, 34 minutes. It's a tragedy. But that's all you're spending. Make sure it's quality time. Make sure you're listening. We recommend these strategies for the home. For the school, we recommend the following. First of all, again, we always believe in study. We must first of all become aware that a conspiracy destroyed black boys. After that, we must increase male teachers. My first desire is to increase male staff. My second one would be those in the upper grades, at least for 1 year, to teach in the lower grades. In other words, what I recommend is that we have more black men before fourth grade, or at least in the intermediate division. In addition to that, if we cannot get this, we want more black role models coming into the school. If we cannot get them on staff, the least we can do is invite black men in. I encourage black men to volunteer in your local school because the men are not there, so we need to have you there. In addition to that, we also want to change some of the changes of the triangle, to change the methodology, to begin to use a right brain learning activities. In other words, more hands-on learning objects in terms of fine arts, artifacts, pictures, and the like. We also recommend that we emphasize academics over athletics. We must give more glory to academic achievement than we do athletic achievement. These are the strategies we recommend for the school. To one, study it, increase male teachers, increase role models, look at a right brain learning style, and emphasize academics over athletics. Lastly, for solutions, we also want to look at the community. The community has a program to destroy black boys. We must have one to protect and develop black boys. One program is the Boy Scouts. It's an excellent program. It teaches black boys skills. But the problem is the Boy Scout master may be homosexual, may not know black history. The Boy Scouts may be nothing more than the junior army, but it's an excellent program. It teaches black boys skills, but it may not do anything else. Another program is Big Brothers, an excellent concept. It gives black male a role model, but the big brother may be homosexual, may not know black history, and so the conspiracy is going to continue. What we recommend is you blend Boy Scouts skills, blend Big Brothers role models into an African program called SIMBA, S-I-M-B-A. SIMBA is the African word for young lion, and we now have 17 SIMBA chapters across the country. These are programs where black men are not talking about the problem, they are working on it. These are black men who organize themselves to work with black boys to teach them skills, give them a role model, teach them black culture, and the major objective to go through the rite of passage in the manhood. In my church in Chicago, we have a SIMBA program where in February during Black History Month or during December during Kwanzaa, we take our boys who've gone through our criteria and through a special ceremony called the rite of passage. I repeat, you have some black men talking about what they're going to do. You have some black men organized to begin to work on that kind of issue. We recommend SIMBA. It blends all three of those together. Closing point, and then we'll open up for some questions. Donna and Kathy, I mentioned at the very outset that one of every 2 husbands physically abuses his wife. Now, many thought the problem was only with the men who did the beating. There's more to it than that. You see, any respectable woman will make it very clear to her man, you put a hand on me, and either I'm leaving or you better not go to sleep. There are two kind of women in the makeup. And they go by the names of Donna and Kathy. You see, I sincerely believe this. I believe that men know who to be, who not to. I believe that. And I believe that men are not going to respect women until women, first of all, respect themselves. And there are two kind of women in the makeup, Donna and Kathy. Now, Donna feels very good about herself. She would like to have a man. She don't have to have one. I mean, the sun will still shine. God will still be first in her life. Donna, once a month, she ain't got to have one. But then you get Kathy, thinking in your way comes to the door with another woman, with a bottle, with a ball of fist. All Kathy wants is a man, and a half a man will do. I want all the Kathys to raise them. You know, I get across the country, see a sister admit to me, and she's a Kathy. You know what they tell me? They say, Jawanza, well, I'm a Donna during the weekday, and I'm a Kathy on the weekend. Well, I'm down at summertime with Kathy on the other hand. It's hard being down in America. When you have two women, 31 man. It's easy to lower your standards. If you want to be a Kathy in America, the theory goes like this. For every sister we can get to quit acting like Kathy and to begin to act like Donna, what this means is less Kathy and more Donna. As a result of having fewer Kathys and more Donnas, we will have fewer brothers taking advantage of women like Kathy. Now they expect more women like Donna. I am tired of women always blaming the brother. The last time I looked, you still determined who gets your phone number, who takes you out, and every step along the way. It's hard being down in America. If you want to be a down, then there may be some lonely Friday and Saturday nights. But if you believe in you, you'll have peace of mind. If you want to be a down in America, it means you go back to school, get off of welfare, learn your skill for a career to take care of yourself. If you want to be a down in America, it means you will quit watching them soap operas all day long, especially all of my children, and begin to take care of your own. If you want to be a down in America, it means you will quit eating those cookies and chocolates all evening long. You know, the rumor is the older women get, the bigger you get. Watch what you eat and exercise. And last but not least, if you want to be a down in America, you need to put God first in your life. You didn't know, it takes longer for boys to grow up. And some boys never grow up. But rather than marrying a boy as a cat and making a mistake, we encourage you to wait. But while you're waiting, don't complain. Keep developing yourself. So when the brothers finally get ready, you'll be ready too. A good man still takes two and not one. Now, as you well know, Bill, we used to end with the Donna Campbell theory. But the women got on our case in Jawanza. If you're going to talk about the conspiracy to destroy black boys, don't end it talking about us. End it where you started, with the brothers. So now I want to give you the Eddie Willie theory. Eddie is dedicated to my father. His name is Eddie, and I believe he's a very strong example of a black man. There are two kinds of men in America, Eddie and Willie. Willie makes babies. Eddie takes care of them. In other words, Willie believes it's not the quality, it's the quantity. Willie has made a lot of babies. Eddie believes not only taking care of them, he hugs them. He believes in the mission of the children. Works with them on their homework. Eddie takes care of them. Willie makes it. Point number one. Point number two, Willie only works, and maybe not even then, outside the house. Eddie works inside and outside. In other words, Willie may cut grass. He may rake leaves, but he definitely is not working inside the house because men work outside, women work inside, but not Eddie. Eddie believes in whatever it takes. Washing dishes, making dinner, whatever it takes. And then last but not least, Willie is very insecure. And so Willie verbally and physically abuses his woman, but not Eddie. Eddie's very insecure. In other words, Eddie encourages a woman to go back to school, to get a promotion on her job. Eddie encourages his woman to go to church. You know what I even heard? Eddie goes to church with her. And the reason is Eddie is his wife's best friend. And because of that, he understands that putting his woman down is not the key. The key is feeling good about yourself. When you feel good about yourself, there's no need to put anybody down. I want all the Dons and all the Eddies to stand up and give yourselves a very strong round of applause. Thank you very, very much.
Man, so man, that's the doctor, man, and that's this man was talking about raising kids back in the 80s, man, and what we have going on today has intensified and gotten worse. We are 50 steps back to where this guy was talking about. We have went backwards. Homosexual, LBGTQ agenda. I wonder what people would say about this. Kevin Samuels came out here. A lot of the rhetoric that he says is on point. He's on his A game. I love what he says. I hope you do too. Man, check him out. Research him. And let me know. Share your comments with this man. And I'm going to be leaving more videos about the evolution and what we need to do as far as black men and being good role models, an example for the younger men coming out here, man. Maham the Mentor, boy, if you knew better, you can do better. The more you know, the less you can be manipulated by anybody, even me. Over and out.
Push, keep pushing, push, keep pushing.